So this is just the homepage. I mean, it looks like these are kind of different products within the suite. So they have flowcharts, wireframes, sticky notes, and looks like another product or feature coming soon called mind maps.
Yeah, what I don't understand is if it's a all-in-one suite where you just download this product and it has these as features, or if this is just a house brand Whimsical that put out these 4 technically different products.
Yeah, it's interesting they're calling it a workspace.
Yeah.
Which could suggest I think either they could be individual products or they could be like features all within this workspace, so to speak.
Hover over visual, something happened there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that's underlined there. It does look like that.
What do you think caused that? Like, why do you that confusion between whimsical and the 4 down here?
I think it's just kind of a lack of explanation and clarity up top, and it doesn't say anything about it being a tool. Doesn't say anything about it being a suite. It's just Whimsical is a workspace. And here's some features. Jump straight into features or products. I'm not necessarily sure.
See, I felt kind of the same way, and I think one of the reasons why is because of how heavily they branded flowcharts, wireframes, sticky notes, and mind maps.
Yeah.
And so there's this paradigm that exists where when we see sub brands like that, we're not sure if it's like, is it attached to the Whimsical thing or are these separate little products down below? So I initially liked that as like a design construct of having these interesting little blocks, but I did have that same reaction. It's like, is Whimsical a separate thing and these are just individual products underneath of it?
Yeah.
It just goes to show like the power of leaning in too heavily on like those product sub brands can cause some confusion. I'm actually not sure, even sitting here right now, is flowcharts a product, and I have another sign in for wireframes and sticky notes as well.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering, is they said one workspace. They're calling it one workspace, which makes me think that if you need more than one of these products or features, that you can probably, hopefully use them interchangeably in a single space. But like you said, because they're so heavily branded, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would make sense for them to work across each other.
Yeah. What would kind of be your first step landing on this website as a person who is maybe considering this product?
Click on one of those.
Definitely clicking one of those. But I mean, I think if you keep scrolling down, like it looks like they have some pretty reputable quotes. Designers that I'm recognizing right off the bat. This is obviously a tool for designers.
What makes you say that?
Because it's all designers with digital workspace and those wireframes and flowcharts.
Yeah.
As someone who's very much like sort of influenced by design, I can tell it's for designers as well, just by the overall look and feel of it. It's super trendy, using colors that are questionable for sort of like the masses, but for us, it's like we see this type of color palette all day, every day. So immediately, it looks like it's a tool for designers.
What do you think about just the brand in general? Like some of these brand elements, and you mentioned colors. Looks like there's a lot of gradients and kind of basic shapes and stuff. It feels pretty. It kind of gives me the sense that it would be a really easy product to use and pretty out of the box and self-serve and just approachable to use. Like, I don't know, I don't get the same feeling with some of those big heavy B2B products, that enterprises use. You don't often see this design style, and I don't know if some of it's just fear in those B2B industries of being a little bit more whimsical with their branding, or if it's just that maybe incorrect feeling that they have to be overly professional or whatever. But like, I look at this and I just like expect this product to be pretty easy to use because it's so simple.
The design of the homepage is definitely kind of on trend visually, and we see these basic geometric and organic shapes, which kind of lends itself to the idea that the product is hopefully simple too.
Yeah.
And they don't use a lot of content, so they are assuming that the audience does know what those tools are.
Yeah.
And they kind of expect designers to kind of jump in right away to avoid.
Yeah. Let's jump in. I'm gonna click on flowcharts and see.
One other thing that I think makes it look like it's really easy to use is right out of the gate, it's like sign up with Google. So immediately, that suggests that I'm not gonna have to get a credit card out, and I'm probably gonna get a free trial. So that's just the paradigm that's been set right from the top. Anytime I see a sign up with Google or sign up with Facebook, it's like, okay, this is a free or free trial product, quick time to value. Maybe over time, I'm gonna have to get my credit card out if I want some additional features. But that's just a paradigm for me, at least, that's been set when I see that logo up top in the hero section.
Yeah, that's a great point. They don't use free trial.
Get a demo.
Get a demo.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like it's such a missed opportunity to not do something with the hover state on visual.
Yeah.
It's,
They could
the
definitely
word
use
is
it.
visual. Hover on it and have stuff happen in the background.
Right.
They even underlined it like they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
They just didn't.
I'm gonna go jump into flowcharts. So immediately, kind of what I notice up here, even just with like the URL, it suggests that like it's still a little unclear to me if this is just a feature or if it's a product in and of itself. A lot of times when I see it in the URL like this, it kind of suggests that maybe it's a standalone product, but I don't know, that homepage is still throwing me off a little bit because it does say workspace, and so I guess my hope and expectation as a user signing up is that I would get access to all these things, but
Right. Is this just one way to use Whimsical? Or is this a sort of distinct feature set?
Yeah.
Flowcharts is a distinct feature set.
Here's a pretty unique thing up here I just noticed. Those blocks on the homepage have turned into kind of our nav. I think it's pretty unique how they've almost iconified the different features or products. I think we're still not sure, but up here in the top. From a UX standpoint, I think the tooltips are nice as just a good reminder of what those things are. So
nice consistency for sure.
Yeah, I like the tooltips. I'm wondering why they didn't just have that text right under those. It's not taking up a lot of space.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be. It could be a usability concern.
I wonder if it's like a more of a long-term goal that they just want to train people to start recognizing these types of things, and so maybe that's why they didn't. I don't know, I'm speculating. But I freaking love GIFs and videos that show how a product works. I think it's pretty impressive too that like immediately they show you really quickly like how you can use a lot of the different features of this particular product.
Do they have one for each benefit? Like if you click on beautiful output, does it change?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, and they have the, I guess, luxury of doing jumping straight into showing off a feature because it's a tool that does something that we're all familiar with, their audience is familiar with.
Yeah.
It's not some complex thing. They can just, their big selling point is going to be usability here because everyone knows what these things are. So,
Yeah, it's a good point because I think simpler products like this, to your point, like do have that luxury of being able to show individual features just because they're not super deep in their functionality, or maybe they are, but it is a pretty well understood space.
I love that they use motion here, like you just said, John. I think it's a lot more compelling than static product mock-ups or actual product shots.
Yeah.
So in addition to the design, like I think that the copy really acknowledges the sort of desired buyer, right? Lightning fast, beautiful output, collaborate in real time, pretty straightforward. 2 to 3 words in the headline, consistency on like how long the subhead is, just getting right to it, knowing that the type of like person who's going to download this is more of a skimmer, less of a reader.
Yeah, for sure.
Really understanding the audience, I think, well, which is probably because they built this tool for themselves.
Yeah. One of the things that just caught my eye, which is subtle, but I think so smart, is we're on the flowcharts page right here, and they're using this visual flowchart element in this example section here. It's like super simple, but they definitely didn't have to put these arrows here. Like I would have understood that, okay, these down here must be examples because of this title. But just adding those little arrows, I think, is a nice little.
I agree. I think they could have done that more.
Yeah.
We mentioned it earlier, but the one word that comes to mind when I see this brand is easy. Like they basically just took elements from all the things they already do and used them in a cool way to create a brand.
Yeah.
Like the brand was an afterthought, but it's still like a beautiful afterthought.
Yeah.
Like it still looks good.
I won't click into them now, but these things right here look to be, it's kind of their experiential like technique is they're giving you examples, and I would assume that I can click into one of these and it would probably, well, let's just click into one really quick. Yeah, so it looks like this is the tool itself, and maybe I can interact with this. I guess this is just a read-only mode. But that's pretty cool. It shows me the output of what this tool does. And I can zoom in and zoom out and get a feel for how it works. So I think it's a good way to show people what the tool is. before they've actually signed up.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just repeating the CTA down here. So
And inside the product too. If you go back over to the flowchart in the nav bar up top.
That's nice. And it looks like I can maybe share this with some friends, get a shareable link.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really smart.
Oh.
Really nice ways of just doing like growth hacking and kind of getting other people into this tool.
Mhm.
And I did see down here that they do have pricing, so I think Andy, you're right that it's probably a freemium model.
Mm-hmm.
And someone said it before, just the sign up with Google just kind of hints at the fact that I must be able to get started pretty easily without a credit card, which is really nice. So
Can you go to that pricing page?
yeah, sure.
$10 a month.
Cool.
4 free boards.
So boards must be something around like the workspace.
I would say that boards is kind of the generic term for any of those things.
Any of
So,
these 4
yeah.
products, so flowcharts, wireframes.
Right, you could
sticky
have
notes,
one of
and
each, you could have 4 of one.
Cool.
I was thinking that it's all kind of the same thing, it's just one workspace, and you just use different elements to create these different things. So it's just packaging use cases, essentially. They're not features, it's just, here, you can use these squares to make wireframes, or you can use them with arrows to make flowcharts.
Mm-hmm.
So we were kind of knocking on that a little earlier. I'm kind of coming around to maybe it's really smart if someone coming here and saying, I don't make flowcharts, so I don't need Whimsical, but I make wireframes.
Right.
Love making wireframes, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like you really lean into the different use cases, and Whimsical works for maybe 5 of these. Somebody who wants to do mind maps is interested in that.
Yeah.
So in some respects, it was a little confusing. Are there 4 products? But in other, it's like we're just going to really lean in on use cases and catch somebody's eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
I think that's true.
Yeah, even if you go to sticky notes, that's something I noticed there where I think one of the examples looked a little bit random, like you're just trying to get ideas out, and then another one looked like Trello, where they're kind of organizing them in a backlog potentially.
Yeah.
So even within these, they have different use cases.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like different ways to kind of show off the product or the feature. So flowcharts did a lot of like GIFs, and it looks like sticky notes has a video, which we won't watch now, but they have more just static imagery of the product. Yeah, so even more videos here. I like that you can hover on these and it kind of gives you a preview of how it works. So any closing thoughts? I think we could go into detail on all these, but any closing thoughts on like Whimsical? I mean, would you sign up for this product?
I think the comments around it looking easy is a really big compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's a major compliment. Like quick time to value, download it, low risk, just try it, and I'm going to be able to start using it immediately. Yeah. One closing thought, like it'd be interesting to look at Real Time Board or Miro, which I think I view as a competitor, and just seeing any differences or comparing the two, just on immediate visceral reaction. I know that's another product that we've looked at. Yeah,
I totally agree. What's like another digital product you would kind of put this in the same bucket as in terms of who their audience is, or maybe ease of use, things like that? Maybe
Real Time Board.
Oh, Real Time Board, yeah. Well, Real Time Board does some similar things. I just mean like brand style and maybe the types of people they're targeting. Trello feels similar. Like Trello is pretty easy to sign up for, and you can start creating boards right away.
I feel like a lot of
Teammates
just
and things like that.
What comes to mind for me is like weather apps, notes apps, and like to-do apps that are just stripping away a bunch of functionality. It's like there's the Evernotes of the world, which is like heavy functionality. You can do all this collaboration and syncing and whatnot. And then there's like Bear, which is just like a beautiful notes app that's simple with simple use cases, simple features, and that's it.
Yeah.
Notion comes to mind in terms of how it's the product side is both simple, but you can go more in depth. Notion actually has a wide kind of variety and depth of features, but it portrays simply, and there's some live demos just like on Whimsical.
And the way they talk about the product, definitely.
Yeah, it seems to be there's like this whole new space opening up of products that are designed and maybe targeted more to the end user, but they still do like more business level, like team collaboration, things like that. Like Notion is designed very much to designers for sure, but it's just like it seems very easy to use, and it uses a lot of elements similar to Whimsical here that you just don't see in a lot of those B2B apps. But I feel like Whimsical could position itself against a lot of these different enterprise level collaboration tools. So
definitely like something like Lucid Chart. Like when you go to Lucid Chart, it just feels like heavy. Oh, I gotta jump into this thing. I gotta sign up. I gotta learn how to use it. This is just so much more accessible. You just jump right in and it does a lot of the same things. It looks like.
yeah, totally
You
agree.
know what it reminds me of? Prezi, like where that blew up, where people were so sick of PowerPoint, and then Prezi was great because it was like cool, and also you could collaborate on. online with it.
I'd be curious to see if they continue to iterate their website and maybe actually call out some of the tools that they're pitting themselves against. I've seen that on some other websites, which is bold. But
That's one thing that I noticed here. Like, it seems like they're aware that all these tools already exist. So the problem that they're trying to solve is like, let's put it all together.
right,
And I feel like a lot of brands are doing that too. Like,
yeah,
why don't we bring all these things together instead of having different things that you have to go to?
yeah,
So,
totally
Like
agree.
email clients and calendar apps.
Right.
Like these things are, people are so familiar with these,
Yeah.
and it's like there's 1,000 of them out there.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate? Well, they gotta be simple or
Yeah.
just strip away use cases.
It's funny, those are the things that designers usually gravitate to on like Dribble, like the things that you see every day.
Yeah.
Those are the most important.
Yeah, it's like there's this whole new class of single utility apps that just do one thing and do it really, really well. They're super easy to use. The user experience is great. It's easy to buy. It's easy to share. And yeah, I think we'll see a lot more of them.